Welcome to this explainer. Look, whether you're managing a massive business cluster, tinkering with a home lab, or really doing anything in between, you already know just how absolutely crucial a rock-solid hypervisor is. But right now, well, we're staring down a very hard, very immediate deadline. Proxmox VE8 is officially hitting its end of life. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what that means for your infrastructure, how to safely navigate the jump to Proxmox VE9, and most importantly, how to pull this off without taking your workloads offline or, completely ruining your weekend. Time is definitely of the essence here, so let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. August 31st, 2026. You need to mark this on your calendar because that is your ticking clock. If you log into a Proxmox V8 system right now, you're probably already seeing the web interface nagging you about this exact date. Once we pass this point, the 8.x branch is simply no longer treated as a supported security baseline. And just to be clear, this isn't a gentle suggestion from the devs, it's the definitive end of the road for any updates on this version.
So here is our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with the deadline, look at the hidden EOL risks, check out Proxmox 9 readiness, run through the upgrade checklist, tackle clusters and Ceph, and finish up with your execution strategy.
Section 1. The deadline, August 2026.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the core operating system transition happening under the hood. You might remember Proxmox VE8 arrived back in June 2023, and it was built on Debian 12 Bookworm. But Proxmox VE9, it moves the entire platform forward to Debian 13 Trixie. So when you sit down to perform this major version upgrade, you aren't just bumping up a few management packages, you're actually doing a full distribution upgrade. It's the whole shebang. And this underlying OS shift is exactly why proper planning here is just totally non-negotiable.
Section 2. Hidden risks of running EOL. What actually happens to your setup on September 1st?
The truth is, the danger is quiet. Let's be real, on September 1st, your servers aren't just going to magically shut down in protest. Your VMs, your containers, they're probably going to keep humming along, looking perfectly fine on the surface. But continued operation is absolutely not the same thing as continued support. A brand new vulnerability in QEMU, the Linux kernel, your storage stack, or networking could easily drop right after you get your final supported update. And when it does, that fix might only ever exist on the Proxmox VE9 branch, which leaves your isolated, unsupported hypervisor just incredibly vulnerable.
And beyond those scary security risks, there is a massive operational cost to just dragging your feet on this. Your entire third-party stack is going to move on without you. Backup vendors, monitoring tools, Terraform providers, hardware vendors, all of them, they test against supported releases. The longer you hang back on Proxmox VE8, the more friction you're going to feel day to day. Honestly, if something breaks, the very first response you'll get from any support team is just going to be, hey, upgrade to version 9 before we spend any time debugging this. You basically become an island. And trust me, that's a terrible place for an IT admin to be.
Section 3. Is Proxmox VE9 ready? Let's dispel the .0 myth.
A lot of people get nervous about major versions, but this brilliantly illustrates why that typical IT hesitation just doesn't apply here. We aren't choosing between a stable 8.x branch and some brand new 9.0 release that dropped yesterday. Proxmox VE9 has already had about a year of heavy production exposure. In fact, Proxmox VE 9.2 was released back in May of 2026, so it's a very mature, battle-tested target. The platform itself is 100% ready for your workloads right now.
Section 4. Pre-flight upgrade checklist. Let's plan for a safe migration.
I really want you to internalize this core philosophy. The safest Proxmox VE 8 to 9 upgrade starts with restore confidence, not with an apt command. Think about it. A successful backup job just proves you wrote some data somewhere. Big deal, right? A successful restore test proves you can actually get your business back online if things completely go sideways. Please, never even think about typing that upgrade command until you've proven, beyond a doubt, that your safety net actually holds weight.
All right, let's run through the critical pre-flight checks step by step. First things first, update every single node to the latest 8.4 packages. And make absolutely sure the cluster is healthy. No ongoing recoveries, nothing weird. Next up, you need to run the PVE 8 to 9 full checker tool. And listen, resolve every single failure it spits out. Pay special attention to any EFI or system deboot warnings. Those will get you. Finally, double check that your third-party repositories have a Debian 13 path and, like we just talked about, execute an actual test restore for your VMs and containers.
Section 5. Clusters and Ceph upgrades.
Navigating multi-node complexity.
When dealing with clusters, the golden rule here is upgrade one node at a time. You want to smoothly migrate your guests off the node, run all those pre-flight checks we just covered, actually perform the upgrade, reboot, and then validate. And please, for the love of uptime, do not make, well, the web UI loaded your only success criterion. You have to validate your network bridges, bonds, VLANs, storage mounts, high availability states, and guest agents, and do it outside the dashboard. The subtle failures that actually take down a business usually sit right outside the Proxmox UI. Going node by node limits your failure domain and gives you a clean stopping point if things get weird.
Let's move to how this builds if your cluster is hyperconverged using Ceph storage. This is absolutely critical, so pay attention. Upgrade Proxmox sounds like a single task, right? But if you run Ceph, it is actually two very linked platform changes. The official documentation is clear. You must upgrade Ceph from Reef to Squid first. Only after Ceph is completely healthy on Squid do you then upgrade Proxmox VE from 8.4 to 9.x. Do not try to be a hero and combine these into one massive weekend project along with a network redesign. Separate the changes. That way, if something breaks, you know exactly what did it. Ceph Health is what keeps your VM disks online during the hypervisor maintenance, so treat it with respect.
Section 6. Upgrade now or wait. Making that final call.
Let's break down exactly when to pull the trigger with a simple decision framework. If you've got a healthy 8.4 cluster, your backups are tested, and you know they restore, and your vendor dependencies all confirm they support Proxmox VE 9.2, your action is crystal clear. Upgrade now. The remaining support window for version 8 is way too short to postpone a perfectly ready migration. On the flip side, if your upgrade checker is throwing red flags, if Ceph is degraded, or if you literally have zero proven restore tests, well, your action is wait. Stop and fix the blockers. Don't force a broken upgrade just to beat the clock.
So the crucial point is this. The absolute best upgrade window is the one that actually leaves you room to diagnose issues. If you wait until the last week of August to even start on node 1 and something unexpected pops up, you've completely removed your own safety net. You want calendar time left over, time to pause, troubleshoot, maybe course correct, all without the massive stress of operating an unsupported hypervisor on a Monday morning. Which leaves us with this final, burning question. Are your backups truly ready for the jump, or are they just a ticking time bomb waiting for August 31st? Seriously, don't let your hardbelt infrastructure become some isolated, unsupported island. Review your dependencies today, run a bare metal restore test tomorrow, and book that maintenance window. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Now go check those backups.